Yep, it's me, Lila, Gmar Rides, back again with something interesting, and I'm taking you with me. In this case, we're going to talk about the pig trail twice. Yep, so in this case, we are just getting ready to leave Turner's Bend, which is a stop where there's a cute little grocery store, snack spot, gas pump, and I mean one gas pump. Lots of motorcycles, as you can see, stop there to fuel up in both ways, and as I'm over there by the ladies' room, you know what I did. Yep. Anyway, Turner's Bend was a great little spot to stop and top off the gas tank and take off again. Because, you know, the Dyna sucks a lot of gas. Not as much as the Road King, but quite a bit. Anyway, did I say we're going over the Mulberry River here on the main road, the main byway? And it is. It's called the Pig Trail National Scenic Byway. The byway itself is a total of 24.4 miles or 19.2, depending on what my source was. And I did a little bit of research for this because I wanted to make it interesting for you. Sometimes my commentary in my helmet is a little bit boring. I know. I'm as shocked as you are. But anyhow, I thought we'd talk a little bit about the different setups I was riding on each time. And in this case, you can see we're on the Dyna, and your view is of my tin can man right there. He's my little traveling companion. He and Stewie the Panther traveled with me on this trip. And one of the things that I set up differently on the Dyna than on the Road King was I put my hippo hands on the Dyna. Now, the hippo hands were a little bit fiddly to install, but I really liked them because they did keep off the brunt of the bugs and the rain. Not that I encountered any, but yeah, they were really nice to have. And also when you're stopped, they make a great spot to throw your gloves and they don't wind up on the ground. But yeah, it was a little cumbersome to get used to, which is why I did not put them on the Road King. But that is a future plan. So anyway, Wikipedia tells me that Arkansas is a landlocked state in the west, south, central region of the southern United States, bordering Missouri to the north, Tennessee and Mississippi to the east, Louisiana to the south, Texas to the southwest, and Oklahoma to the west. Its name derives from a couple of different peoples that I cannot pronounce. Not going to butcher that. Anyway, every school kid knows that it was part of the original Louisiana Purchase, and it was admitted to the Union as the 25th state on June 15th of 1836. No, really, I didn't know that. Did you? I didn't, actually. So, you know, at my advanced age, it's kind of nice to review these facts occasionally. And see this little white car in front of us? That is one of the reasons that I decided to do a voiceover on this, because he really annoyed me and I may or may not have cussed a little bit. Although even with the little white car that does wind up in front of me, I did really enjoy this ride on the Dyna. Before I took off on this trip, I went and had my mechanic at Easy Street Custom Cycle upgrade the front suspension and the rear suspension with adjustable shocks. There's nothing adjustable on the front end at my level, but if it ever became problematic, David and Rip could fix that for me, but it hasn't needed any fixing. I have, however, required a few lessons on how to readjust my shocks because it's fiddly. You can adjust it for a load or adjust it for unloaded, and it's quite nice though to have that ability to control that. Yeah, little dial, don't hardly see it. Yeah, but I always carry the instructions with me because, you know, I forget things. What can I say? So in both of these clips, you're going to notice that the tree cover is pretty much the same. And that is one of the nicest parts that people enjoy about riding or driving on the pig trail. You'll notice there's not a lot of spots beside the road to pull off. And that might be a good thing because if you stop and look at every little place on the way that you can pull aside and take pictures, you're not going to make much progress. And although progress isn't always the name of my game, I do actually like to get somewhere when I need to. I can honestly say that the two rides were similar and I enjoyed each of them very, very much. But we'll talk more about the performance of the Road King when we get to that section. See, a lot of motorcycle riders on this road, which was a lot of fun. And I probably do need to update my facts just a little bit. Turner Bend also features some RV campgrounds. If you're an RV person, I mean, I wouldn't drive an RV up here. I don't think that's a great idea. But yeah, it was perfectly wonderful. And the little store cabin situation was quite nice. Great place to stretch your legs, get out of your helmet for a quick minute. As I was looking at the topical map of the Pig Trail Scenic Byway, I noticed that there are a lot of little twisty forest roads in the area, so I can see why this place is somewhere that ADV riders love to go. And it does at one point transect the Transamerica, you know, that path that everybody wants to go from one side of the states to the other. Transamerican Trail. Yeah, the TAT. Anyhow, there's also an abundance of funny little names in this area. Of course, we all know about Ozark, and there's OARK, O-A-R-K, which is on my second section. So we'll talk about that there, okay? Okay, forget I said anything. Okay, so I am a little bit annoyed, though, that I did not stop at Pig Trail Falls. There are no shortage of things to do in this general area. There's some National Historic Sites, there's Mount Magazine State Park, you know, lots of places to take a break. And I could have hiked into Pig Trail Falls, which, you know, sometimes hiking is not my jam. And sometimes, even on the Dinah, I will scope out the parking situation. And yeah, Arkansas is not really big on paved parking lots in these little spots. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm sorry I didn't see Pig Trail Falls, but it's not like I won't be back there again. Because with so many things to see and do, and what with I-40 being a major through route for me when I'm riding to and from Forgotten Angels, I'll be stopping in the Fort Smith area again. And don't forget that little motel that I recommended for you there. You know, do you think I can remember the name of it off the top of my head? I don't know how I'm going to expect you to remember it. But anyway, I'll drop a link for that at some later point if I think about it. So anyhow, yeah, a lot of little mom and pop motels around here, which, you know, you can either go really bad with a mom and pop motel or really good. There doesn't seem to be a lot of in between, in my opinion. And, you know, all these things I'm saying are pretty much just my opinion. You know, my opinion on the Dinah setup for the suspension, just my opinion. You do you. I'm not telling you to go out and do anything the way I do it. Just telling you what works for me. And it must be working because look at me out here riding the pig trail at the moment. Well, not right now, but you know, in the video. And as far as things I want to see next time, in Fort Smith there's a trolley museum. So now for some reason I really want to see that. Fort Smith also has an air museum. You know, obviously you know what that's going to be. I probably am going to leave out the family fun park. But yeah, there's also all kinds of other cool stuff to see in Fort Smith. So I might take a day there and just kind of hang out. Another thing I might add on as something I'd like to see is the Devil's Den State Park Visitor Center. You know, lots of times when you go to these little visitor centers, they sell stickers and sometimes they give them away. I always think it's kind of like a little lottery. Some states give away stickers, some give away snacks. When I went to Florida, they gave us orange juice at the visitor center, which was actually pretty tasty. I did actually enjoy a lot of this scenery here because in the Pacific Northwest, most of our trees are evergreen. So they're either green or they're bald. There's no variation as far as this. And you can see here that I finally got tired of following a little dude in a white car. So I pulled off for a minute and let him have some time to get hopefully a little bit ahead of me. Yeah, but I saw a lot of people riding on this, and look at all those little side trails like I was talking about. And I look at the map, and there are so many little places that I could have checked out, but I didn't. Because, well, I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't, that's all. I like to leave something for the next time through. Arkansas is split in a couple of ways as far as terrain. It's got the highlands on the northwest and the lowlands to the southeast. The southeastern part being along the Mississippi Alluvial Plain, or the Arkansas Delta. It's a flat landscape featuring rich alluvial soils formed by repeated flooding of the adjacent Mississippi River. Further up, the Grand Prairie has a more interesting landscape, which is flat and kind of wavy. I don't know. That's their words, not mine. They're both known for being good to grow things in. And there's also a place that bisects the area, the Delta region, known as Crowley's Ridge. It's a narrow band of rolling hills, and it rises to between 250 to 500 feet at its tallest point. Another thing I didn't really realize is that Arkansas is home to many caves, such as the Blanchard Springs Caverns, and that's also gone onto my list for things to see next time. What a surprise, huh? Some people don't like caves. Doesn't bother me too much. Well, until you start going into those deep dive caves. Those kind of creep me out just a little bit, I don't mind saying. Hard to get there on a motorcycle, though, so, you know. So, yeah, almost at the end of the Dinah clip. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. But no, don't go away yet. No, don't really. There's another one. For comparison's sake, we're going to ride the Road King on the pig trail now. Okay? Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Or you can go grab a snack really quick. Yeah, that was from back where I was at Turner Bend. Yep. And now we're going to hop on the Road King. And as you can see, I've mounted my camera in a different position, so that's different too. I really like mounting the camera this way on the handlebars. I think it gives you a really nice view of, well, of the middle of the road. Makes some people a little bit nervous though, because of, you know, you're on the handlebar and you're kind of pushed over there towards the line. When I was watching these, it made me a little bit nervous, and I was there in the first place. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. Which view do you prefer better? Do you want to see my handlebars and my dirty windshield? Or do you prefer this view? Go drop me a comment right now. And you're going to periodically see me running the yellow line on this. And people, this is just for effect, okay? Okay. I did notice this time on the road surface, though, there were starting to be a few more potholes again. So I'm willing to bet if I go back through there in November, if I ride over to Forgotten Angels, there's going to be a lot of potholes. But we'll see. So remember, this is November. This is this last November in 2025. Maybe in 2026 I'll have another chapter to add on to this same video. That would be a hoot, wouldn't it? Nah, that would be movie length. Nobody wants to watch that. But the Road King is currently running stock shocks and stock front end. The difference is that, of course, it's a bigger bike. I think it weighs about another 150 pounds. My load was considerably lighter on the Road King, but still, you know, it's a heavier bike. So it was a little bit of a struggle initially when I got the Road King because heavier bike. Although beautiful and sunny in this case, and fortunately the other one too, Arkansas is known for extreme weather and frequent storms. Apparently I got lucky. But there's supposedly a lot of ice storms, and it's in a hurricane-prone area. So it can get dumped with a tremendous amount of rain after any of those tropical storms that happen. And sometimes they even spawn smaller tornadoes. Isn't that freaky? But yeah, so I was amazed by, when I was looking at it, how wet certain parts of Arkansas are. I mean, we see a lot of rain up here in Washington. That's what keeps it so green. I love it up here. But let's go back a little bit more to the Road King. Let's talk about how it's set up. Excuse me. Anyway, I did take the effort of getting a low reach seat for it, and it's stock from Harley Davidson. And it's not as comfortable as the one on the Dinah. It does feature, again, the little upward divot at the back of the seat, you know, so that like you can kind of push back against it and get some traction. But it's not as comfortable as the one on the Dinah. So it's not as comfortable to ride, you know, when you're sitting in the saddle for long hours. I mean, I get used to it. I've made do. But the Road King in itself is a wider motorcycle. And I talked to my mechanic about this. Is there any of these plastic bits we can get rid of? And yeah, no, there's not. But yeah, so see, there is a little bit of, excuse me, road construction this time out on the Road King. Not a lot at all. I was pretty surprised, and they did get us moving here rather quickly. Not even enough time for me to complain about it. But I did turn off the Road King, so I don't really like to just sit stopped. And I did, as you can tell, have a little snack. Be glad that you can't hear me munching on that red licorice stick. Yeah, but anyway, off we go again. So more things that I've changed on the Road King is, and this isn't a big deal and you can't really see it. My daughter for Christmas one year got me these really cool saddlebag liners, and they're super nice because the liner is bright orange. And so you open up your saddlebag and instead of that big black nothingness, you see this bright redness and you can easily see what you're looking for. In my case anyway. But in my case, personally, I just grab the saddlebag liner and take it in the motel room. Because let's face it, the Road King is not really an around-town bike. The bad part about the camera mount setup like this is, I don't know if you can kind of get it now or not, but it's on a little swirly thing so I can turn it around and get different angles. But the weak point is the little swirly thing, and so sometimes it winds up pointed down, and if I don't notice, yeah, that's a problem. I kind of like the view. It's a lot of fun, and I think it puts you a little bit more in the moment, so to speak. But yeah, are you still out there? At any rate, if you still are, this would be a great time to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I know, aren't you amazed? I've only done this commercial once now during this whole video. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'm going to be saying it in a few more minutes because we've only got about 3 minutes left. And there's one of those twisty corners ahead signs that we all love. Or it could have been, oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. But, oh, we're not going that way. Nope, we're not. Fooled ya. Yeah, I was looking at Google at that point. I was like, oh, yeah. But anyway, there are so many cool places to go and look up here. I just loved this ride. Coming back out, we did wind up going down that twisty road. And if you want to see that, you can look at the other pig trail videos that are up on my channel. Yeah, I know. Aren't I clever? Sending you to some of my other videos. I do really hope that you have enjoyed this. And like I said earlier, I hope that you have liked this video. Left me a comment. Have you ridden on the pig trail? Have you driven on the pig trail? Have you been on any other scenic byway? Are you enjoying these facts? The comparison of the motorcycles, the different views on the cameras. So many things we could talk about in the comment section. People, anything. Don't leave it just crickets out there. But anyway, yeah, you could also share this video with your friends. Trying to talk them into taking a motorcycle trip? Look, this crazy old woman can do this. You too can do this. It's not that difficult. Just reconsider your packing list, and at your advanced age, if you are, make sure that you take enough medication, if you're on prescription medication, to get you through the trip. Anything else you can cover with a credit card and a hairbrush. As my mechanic from Easy Street Custom Cycle says, I don't quite fall with that routine because I have to have a few other things, but nonetheless, it's a great plan, isn't it? So yeah, grab your credit card, gas up your bike, go for an adventure. I did. And you can see I've done it at least a couple times. I got a couple hundred videos up now. It's amazing to me too. And my final thoughts on, well, the Road King and the Dyna are that both bikes are perfectly suited for me almost. I've got a few more things I want to do on the Road King, but they're each set up for different things. And we're just rolling into OARC now on the Road King to get the photo op for the Harley Challenge. And the Road King, like I've said earlier, is a little hefty. That would be nice to change, and if I had my druthers, I'd probably put a reverse in it. But, you know, if it's between a road trip and a reverse, well, we know which is going to win out, don't we? But anyway, you people, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you've hung out here to the very last. I hope you'll share it with your friends. I hope you'll save it for that long plane trip. You can have some entertainment. You can laugh at me. You can comment. Yeah, don't forget I have a Patreon, and it's listed on my channel. If you go look there, you can become a Patreon. Or not. Either that, you could support me by hitting that like button. Okay? Bye.